India's almost 600 million citizens are facing acute shortage of water. Largely being an agrarian economy, 60% of the nation's available fresh water is consumed in agriculture. At this hour of crisis, the concerted efforts by every farmer to optimize water use efficiency will pave the way towards our sustainable future.
If you take the case of India particularly, we have about 2.4% of land area of the world what we have, and only 4% of water of the entire world water resource. But we have 18% population to feed. This is a challenge. And in the days to come, we have to produce more with less.
Reasons for decline in water use efficiency are deep percolation in soil, water outflow from farm field, and evaporation. And prevalent flood irrigation causes significant loss of precious water. The three primary sources of useful or usable water are rainwater, surface, or underground water. Based on its availability, the agricultural land can be broadly classified into two regions: rain-fed or non-irrigated, and irrigated land that uses canal or underground water for irrigation. According to estimates, in nearly 50% of the irrigated land area of India, farmers are drawing underground water through 20 million tube wells. As a result, our country, by consuming 24% of the world's total underground water, is depleting its groundwater table at an alarming rate, which is a matter of concern. The root cause is that while on one hand water efficiency in irrigation is 35%, nation's primary crops like paddy, sugarcane and wheat consume 80% of irrigation water. Among them, rice demands the most. In an irrigated state like Punjab, producing a kilo of rice consumes nearly 5,300 litres of water, which is rapidly depleting the groundwater resources. We can aim to conserve this invaluable resource through advanced agricultural practices and water technology solutions.
Punjab's groundwater is depleting rapidly. We believe that the prime cause for this is the change in Punjab's cropping pattern. If you analyze, during the 1960s, 6% of land was under paddy cultivation, which has now gone up to 60% of agricultural land.
Scientists have given the much-needed impetus to water use efficiency in the region by developing modern irrigation methods and low-water-consuming rice varieties.
The Agriculture University has developed the direct seed technique, through which we can save 15% of water to be used. Hence, it's an effective technique and the crop is also good. The additional advantage is that the short duration variety of rice we recommend, which is PR 126, in comparison to long duration variety, takes 20 to 25 less days to mature, which results in an additional 15% saving of water. So as our slogan goes, more crop per drop. By understanding the value of every drop of water used, these varieties can produce more with less water.
To enhance the water use efficiency in rice, alternate wet and dry technique is also becoming popular with farmers.
We use this pipe for measuring or scaling the AWD irrigation schedule. During the vegetative stage, we usually recommend 2 to 3 centimeters level of water maintenance, and when he irrigates up to 2.5 centimeters or 3 centimeters above the ground level, and the next irrigation is given whenever the water level again falls into 5 centimeters down to the soil depth.
Similarly, use of mulching technique in farming enhances water use efficiency. In this process, a layer of leaves of plastic is spread over soil to protect its moisture and controls proliferation of weed. To increase water use efficiency and soil quality, making a trench that constitutes of soil nearby leaves and shrubs helps preserve moisture for a longer time. Additionally, by applying water to the furrow, soil erosion is minimized and it remains moist for long, resulting in lesser use of water. Under the nationwide water movement, the call for more crop per drop to the farmers is being realized through the technique of micro-irrigation.
In drip irrigation, what happens when you are dripping the water, the salts are pushed to the periphery and the roots grow in a salt-free medium.
Micro-irrigation, which uses drip, sprinkler, fogger to dispense water to roots, once put to use in Maharashtra by Krishi Bhushan Sanjeev Mane of Maharashtra, has helped break age-old perceptions about sugarcane and establish new landmarks in the process.
Sugarcane doesn't need huge amount of water but needs it more frequently. Little but consistent supply will only give good yield. The most important role of drip irrigation system is that it enables us to give our sugarcane crop the exact amount of water it requires according to its season and its age. In the first year, I achieved 98.5 metric ton of sugarcane yield. Then we realized that we used only 40 lakh liters of water in one season of 18 months. The sugarcane yield reached 98.5 metric ton. So earlier, when we used 1.25 crore liters of water, we didn't go beyond 40-50 metric ton. Then started applying water in long furrows, then used water through fogger to maintain moisture level and temperature. And that's how we could touch 168 metric ton.
Wastage of a lot of water, and nowadays many soil moisture sensors are available in the market, which are very efficient in deciding the right quantity and right time of irrigation water. They are helping in conserving the water and also improving the water use efficiency.
The contribution of protected farming is also rising in the country's vision of more produce in less water.
Polyhouse provides an ideal environment for plants to grow. Another advantage is conservation of water. Water is a rare commodity in arid areas, and polyhouse technique saves nearly 60 to 65% of water. Polyhouse has many advantages, like less water usage because water is supplied through drip, and fertilizer is also administered through drip. Moreover, we can control temperature, and polyhouse farming requires less labor.
A major portion of rainwater is lost through runoff. Conservation of this invaluable water for rain-fed areas is of critical importance. The three ways to achieve this are in situ water conservation, harvesting of rainwater, and underground water recharge. Phenomenal success of Mission Kakatiya in the revival of traditional tanks in Telangana is a big step towards transforming rain-fed agriculture into a sustainable endeavor.
Over the years, all the tanks have got silted, which should have been in a concave shape have become the convex. And till date, we have desilted about 24,000 tanks. Now these tanks will enable to store the huge amount of water.
Like these water bodies, farm ponds also are an efficient harvester of rainwater. For plateaued and hilly regions, they significantly contribute to enhancing efficiency of watershed management. Here, based on the ridge to valley concept, drainage line treatment is adopted in line with consisting of gully plug, loose boulder structure, gabion structure and check dam that help in arresting the current of water, resulting in minimal erosion of topsoil and maximum conservation of rainwater in the soil.
We have constructed many trench compounding, CCT, RCT, staggered control trench, gully plug, and earthen check dams. Water absorption trench is constructed on the upper part of the mountain so that the water does not damage the lower areas while flowing down the gully, whereas flowing down from the top, maximum amount of water is absorbed in the land.
Similarly, in arid zone of Rajasthan's Jodhpur district, modern techniques of watershed management are efficiently contributing to greater availability of water.
Taka is a local name given to water harvesting structure. Rainwater is connected in Taka and we harvest nearly 3 lakh liters of rainwater in this structure. The water in Taka is pure and we can use this water for life-saving irrigation.
I have 35 bighas of land. Rainwater flowing down from the slope to farm pond, constructed by Agriculture Department, helps me save every drop of rainwater. And when I am in critical need, I use this water.
In Maharashtra, village like Taraswadi, adopted by Pani Foundation, are stellar examples of cooperative irrigation model and water user association.
All farmers collectively make water budget in our villages. But how does water budget work? How much rain you have received, according to that, we need to plan our crops. How much wheat, how much sorghum, pearl millet is to be sown, and how much water can be spared for each farmer is decided collectively by farmers.
To save water, we are also advising farmers to shift from rice cultivation to a different crop like maize, soya bean or Kenso pulses. Bring land under these crops because the water requirement of these crops is much less as compared to rice. Even if the farmers diversify their crops, it will surely help them to resolve to an extent the challenges they face with regards to water.
In our Satara district, we produce variety of crops. For example, fruits, vegetables, tuber crops and flowers. And it has been observed that intercropping system like ginger with genda flower, ginger with cucumber, ginger with cauliflower and many other crops in combination with ginger provide secured income, provide fixed income.
Actually, for the upland cultivation, we are showing this example here. We are showing this ginger and ginger field actually to reduce the loss of the water. In between, we are showing this pumpkin or integrated with sweet potato, and then sometimes in there to not allow the loss of the water, we are showing yam also.
Whether it's humid Meghalaya or parched Rajasthan, integrated farming system increases both water use efficiency and income of marginal farmers.
In all the hilly areas, once the rains are over, October onward sets a complete dry spell. How do you handle that situation? We have constructed 2 water harvesting structures here. Here, we irrigate different crops through gravity irrigational method and enhance the water productivity. Around the year, the farmer needs get fulfilled from this kind of farming practices. For such marginal farmers, these integrated agriculture practices are imperative for them to thrive.
In this desert area of the country, where rains are scarce and uncertain, incidents of drought are a part of life. In such a situation, how does a farmer cultivate? More so, there are many farmers who do not even have money to build a water harvesting structure. So based on the little rain you get, how can you earn your livelihood? Keeping this in mind, we have created this integrated farming system. You can see at the back are khejri trees that are considered to be a lifeline of this region.
Below khejri is pearl millet. After that is moong bean. Further ahead is guar gram, and there you will see moth bean.
All the crops have different harvesting seasons. Let's say if rain is less, then moth bean will do well. If it rains well, then maize will grow well. So there is an insurance. Round the year, the farmer can keep earning.
Inspired by Israel's unparalleled water use efficiency, India too can adopt cutting-edge farming technologies like soil-less cocopeat, hydroponics and aeroponics to achieve its vision of per drop more crop.
Only with more fertigation or by increasing the soil fertility or adopting different plantation methods or even with just plant protection, yield will not increase. All these 4 practices are very important, but the most important factor along with them is water management. Until you don't manage water, you will not achieve the yield as you want.
So my dear farmers, few efficient agriculture irrigation management tips are using early maturing rice varieties, using AWD and SRI technique in rice cultivation. Adopt micro-irrigation to grow more in less water. Irrigation management that follows right time, right amount and right place principle. Adopt protected farming such as polyhouse. Apply mulching and increase water holding capacity of soil through organic farming. Apply intercropping and suitable crop rotation. Use zero tillage and laser land leveling. Check dam, gabion structure, gully plug, farm pond, trench, bunding and others. Adopt them and get more happiness per drop.